Good morning, students. Today's subject algebra, and we are going to start with our practice set 4.5. In this, we are going to solve question number 1 and 2. Okay. Now, this practice set 4.5 is based on a concept called continued proportion. Now, student, what is continued proportion? So, let us consider the ratio 4 is to 12 and 12 is to 36. They are equal ratios. These are equal ratio. 4 upon 12 or 4 is to 12 is same. So, you know 4 threes are 12 and 12 threes are 36. So, they are equal ratios. In the two ratios, in these two ratios, the successors of, that is second term of the first ratio is equal to the predecessor, that is first term of the second ratio. It means the successor of the second term, that is second term of first ratio. So successor is this, second term is this of first ratio, is equal to the first term of the second ratio. Can you see? It is equal 12 of the second term of first ratio and first term of the second ratio is equal. So hence you can say that 4, 12, 36 are said to be in continued proportion. So student, when such thing happens, that is the ratio, if two or more ratio is given and the successor of the first term, means the second term of the first ratio, is equal to the first term of the second ratio, then these all three numbers, that is 4, 12 and 36 are in continued proportion. So if A upon B equal to B upon C, then A, B are in A, B, C are in continued proportion. Can you see? A upon B. So see, the second term of first ratio and first term of second ratio are equal, B and B. So if such thing happens, if you get such ratios, then you can say they are in continued proportion. Now next point to remember in continued proportion is if A into C, if you multiply, cross multiply this. So what you get, AC equal to B square, B into B, B square. So if AC equal to B square, then A, B, C are in continued proportion. If you get this, if you multiply the first term and the last term of second equal to middle two terms of, that is second ratio and first ratio, this that is B of the first ratio and second ratio, then it will become B square. So if you get such, then you can say A, B, C are in continued proportion. Next point what you have to remember is if A, B, C are in continued proportion, then B is known as geometric mean. Means this B is known as geometric mean of A and C, or mean proportion of AC. Means this is known as geometric mean or mean proportion of A and C. These things you have to remember for continued proportion. Okay, student, I'll explain this with one example. If X is the geometric mean of 25 and 4, then find the value of X. Means what it is said, if X is geometric mean of 25 and 4, means the middle term is X. So you can write that 25 comma X. So you can say that if it is said X is the geometric mean of 25 and 4. So you can say, student, that 25 comma X comma 4 are in continued proportion, because it is said over here in the question that is X is geometric mean of 25 and 4. That is, these three are arranged like that. That is 25 comma X. X would be the middle term, comma 4 are in continued proportion. So in continued proportion, you learned that is this into A into C is equal to B square. Yes. So we'll do the same thing. That is X square equal to 25 into 4. So you can multiply 25 into 4 and X square. So you'll get X square equal to 100. Yes. You'll get X square equal to 100. So you can remove square, that is square root you can take out. So you'll get x value equal to 10. Is it clear? So you can find like geometric mean of any two ratios if it is given, then if you have to find, then you can use this. Is it clear? Now we'll start with our practice set 4.5. Now the first question, student, in this is, which number should be subtracted from 12, 16 and 21 so that the resultant number are in continued proportion? Means the numbers are given are 12, 16 and 21, but they have said that what is the number if you subtract it from these three numbers, a number, then the answer which you get are in continued proportion. So as we don't know which is the number, we'll take it variable x. So let x be the number to be subtracted from each of the given numbers. So when you subtract, so first number will become 12 minus x, next 16 minus x, 21 minus x. So then the numbers 12 minus x, 16 minus x and 21 minus x are in continued proportion, because the question said after subtracting the number, the one number, then they are in continued proportion. So if I take x as the number to be subtracted, so it will become 12x minus x, 16 minus x and 21 minus x are in continued proportion. I can write. Now you know that in continued proportion this is a, b, c. So b square is equal to a into c. So we'll apply that. So therefore it will become 16 minus x the whole square equal to 12 minus x into 21 minus x. Is it clear? Then you will apply here the formula, that is a minus b the whole square. So you know that is a square minus 2ab plus b square. So we'll open this bracket by using that formula, and here two terms are there. So you know this is multiplication of binomial by binomial, two terms. So we'll open the bracket and multiply it and get the value. So if you do, that is 16 square will become 256 minus 2 into ab. So 2 into a is 16 into b is x. So 2 into 16, 32 x you'll get. So minus 32 x plus x square, that is b square, that is x square, equal to. Now you'll multiply 12 into 21. If you multiply, you'll get, student, 252. Okay. Then minus, you'll multiply 12 with x also. So 12 into minus x, minus 12x. Then second term, minus x into 21. So you'll get minus 21x. Then minus into minus, student, plus. So x into x, x square. Is it clear? Now student, can you see both equal to left hand side also x square is there with positive same sign, and with right hand side also it's same. So you can cancel this two because they are with same sign to the opposite end of each other. Or if you bring this also x square here, then on left hand side it will become minus x square. It will get cancelled. So we'll directly cancel when the sign is same and one is in left hand side and one number is in right hand side, it will cancel. Now student, what remains? So you'll get 256 minus 32x equal to 252 minus 33x. You'll add this minus 12x minus 21x. As both have same sign, it will, the add numbers will add. So it will become 33x. Now we'll bring the numbers to one side and the variables to other side. So now I brought 256, this 252 to this side, left hand side it became minus 252 equal to minus 33x. Now this minus 32 will come to right hand side, it will become plus 32x. So we'll minus this, that is 256 minus 252, you'll get 4 equal to 33x minus 32x plus 32x, you'll get minus x. So we'll shift the minus sign to the number, therefore x is equal to minus 4. Means the number to be subtracted should be minus 4, so that the numbers which we get are in continued proportion. So you'll write down, therefore minus 4 should be subtracted from each of the given numbers. So the number to be subtracted is nothing but minus 4. Okay student, moving to question number 2. In this, what is the given question? If 28 minus x is mean proportion of 23 minus x and 19 minus x, then find the value of x. We have to find the value of x. So as already it is said that 28 minus x is mean proportion of 23 minus x and 19 minus x. Means they are in continued proportion, and this is your middle term. So I'll write down what is given, that is 28 minus x is the mean proportion of 23 minus x and 19 minus x. So I'll write down, that is this is our middle term, so I can apply square. Yes, that is 28 minus x the whole square equal to, so this both will multiply, that is 23 minus x into 19 minus x. So I previously said in first sum also, you'll apply here a minus b the whole square formula. So it is a square minus 2ab plus b square. So 28 square you have to do. So you'll get 28 square is equal to 784 minus 2 into ab, that is 2 into 28 into x. So you'll get minus 56x. Already here according to the for this one identity formula, minus will come as it is here minus then plus b square, so plus x square equal to, you'll multiply 23 into 19, you'll get 437. Then you'll multiply 23 into minus x, you'll get minus 23x. Then you'll multiply minus x into 19, you'll get minus 19x. Then minus into minus plus x into x square. So you can see here students both x square. So this will also cancel, will cancel here. So when both the terms get cancelled students, now we'll write down our remaining part. So it will become 784 minus 56x equal to 437 minus 42x, because 23x minus 19x you'll get minus 42x. Is it clear? Now we have to bring numbers to one side and a variable to other side. So when you do, so it will become minus 56x plus 42x. I brought this minus 42x to left hand side. So it became minus 56x plus 42x equal to 437, and this number will go to right hand side, it will become minus 784. So 437 minus 784. So as you know, minus sign number is greater, so the answer will also come in minus over here. So minus 56 plus 42, you'll do subtraction and you'll find out that is minus 14x equal to 437 minus 784. So when you subtract this, and sign will be of minus because the number 784 has minus sign. So operation will take place subtraction, but sign will be of negative. So minus 347 you'll get after doing 437 minus 784, you'll get 347. Now student, I need the value of x. So I'll keep the variable x here, and the number of minus 14 I'll bring it to other side. But student, you can see both the side minus minus is there, same sign. So it will get also cancel. Is it clear? So without this one minus sign will get the answer. So it will become, that is x is equal to 347 upon 14. Is it clear? So we got the value of x is equal to 347 upon 14. Okay. So you have to use this continued proportion, that is if a, b, c are in continued proportion, then b square is equal to 4ac. Is it clear? So you can solve by using this sum. Now student, further question, that is question number 3, then 4, 5 we have omitted, and 6 we'll do tomorrow. So I hope you understood this concept. So thank you students, and complete your books.